Hey guys, it's Roxanne from RoxanneLynch.com. Hey, how's it going in your neck of the woods today? Okay, I want to jump into this subject, and it's a little bit touchy-feely. It could even cause some yikes indeed, okay? So, this is what I love to do. You guys know my name is Roxanne Lynch. Sometimes I like to stir the pot a little bit in a productive way. I promise, sometimes I talk about painful subjects. I talk about awkward stuff. And I always lead, with some trials and tribulations, but I promise I always will give you guys the sunny side up at the end of the subject. Okay, so let's pop into this today. I want to stir it up a little bit. I want to create some insightfulness. I want to also create some hope and some joy. And I definitely want to help us think a little bit outside the box because this is going on. In fact, this is going on all the time. Sometimes we just don't talk about it very much, okay? We have to ask ourselves the question, especially with women, as we get older, we've been around the block a few times, maybe we started driving a Volkswagen Bug, and then we went, we picked up a pickup truck, and then we went to a car for the kids, and, then we're finally able to get rid of the 4 doors, and get into that Cougar convertible, maybe do some different things. Women, men, we are always shifting and changing and evolving. So sometimes people get really surprised when women change companies, okay? And we get really territorial, we get really touchy-feely, and sometimes there's a lot of hot emotion when it comes to women leaving one company and moving to another. But ultimately, we have to remember that we have the right to a happy life. Okay, we have that right. Okay, if your best friend started at McDonald's as a young woman and then, was able to pick up a manager position and up her game plan by, moving to a manager position to Dairy Queen, no one would be like cutting her down with an axe or stabbing her in the back and calling her all kinds of nasty names. We would be celebrating her. We would be high-fiving that sister because she's doing something good for herself and her family. Unfortunately, when it comes to network marketing and businesses, sometimes it is not so. Would you guys agree? So if we're thinking about this, why do women move teams? Why do women move companies? And, this is like I said, a touchy-feely subject. And I'm thinking about this. And from a personal perspective, from my personal perspective, because a lot of this is, my thoughts, I've done some research, I've been around the block myself a couple times, done some coaching and training calls on this. But my personal opinion is, the very first one is they're not getting something that they want or they need. They are missing or lacking a desired benefit or result, okay? Like I said, they're not getting something that they want or they need, and they're missing some kind of a desired benefit. Something is lacking. And if we think deeply on that, that's a pretty encompassing statement, right? That covers a lot. But there's a lot that's going on in our hearts. There's a lot that's going on in our brains of why we make those kind of decisions. Because for the most part, we know that ultimately us shifting a business, us shifting a company is going to create some painful, hurt feelings potentially. Because often in our very first businesses especially, we join out of energy and excitement and passion. We don't know what the heck we're doing, but we just do it. And we're doing it because our friend is doing it, or our mom or a family member is doing it, so then we do it. But that doesn't necessarily mean that any of us know what the heck we're doing, okay? It's the blind leading the blind with pure passion. And that can actually get us a long ways before we start hitting a few roadblocks that, this is a business. This marketing thing on Facebook and social media, there is some strategy to it. There is a method to the madness. And it's only when we start hitting those brick walls and we start wanting to bash our head against the keyboard that we start figuring it out. Okay, so, and like I said, we deserve to have that happy life. We deserve all to be able to get to the sunny side of life. And it is a continuous journey, okay? So some of the reasons, we know that there's so many reasons out there of why people change their minds. Sometimes it's the shiny object syndrome. I've talked about that enough. I know that it's, the grass is greener on the other side. Well, honey, we all know if we water our own grass, it's going to grow, okay? So ultimately, it comes down to some deeper parts within ourselves of understanding that we have to understand it begins with work ethic, and there's planning, and there's strategizing, and ultimately, like my Uncle Bert used to tell me, Roxanne, nothing's going to work unless you work it. Okay? Nothing's going to work unless you work it. If it is to be, it is up to me. So I have to figure out where I fit within all the different business models out there, because there's women making money on a bad business model. There are women out there making money on a bad compensation plan. There's even some women out there making money on like non-ethical or bad product, okay? They found a way to make it work for themselves. So I don't believe in bashing other companies, thinking that it's going to make any of ours look any better than the other, okay? I know that there's enough sunshine and there's enough gratitude and grace out there for everybody else to be having those kind of things. But what I want to leave with tip number 2 is ultimately why women joined your business is why they are going to stay or stay longer. So that comes down to nurturing. That comes down to culture. That comes down to caring, giving a damn, community, connection, friendship, okay? Products can come and go. Compensations can change. Leadership can shift. But if you are still connected with that woman and she knows that you care, they're going to stay longer. If she knows that you are trying and you're sometimes doing backflips to make people feel connected, plugged in, nurtured, trained, supported, they are going to stay with you longer. They're not going to just jump hop ship onto the next business, okay? So, and ultimately, like I said, you have the right to a happy life, all right? Okay, so some reasons why people will change companies on a blink of an eye, on a flip of a dime, is they have lost the passion and the spark, okay? Sometimes that comes down to leadership, sometimes that doesn't. Sometimes that is some things that happen within that woman's life that we don't have any control over, but they have lost the passion or the spark, okay? They have been beat up, they have not been nurtured enough, they have not been supported enough, and I can't say necessarily even trained enough, because ultimately, and I have some more tips on this to come, I have some to-dos that you need to go through this checklist before you just decide to toss in the towel, okay? So, but ultimately, if your passion is waning, there has to be a reason why. What are you missing? What is lacking? What do you want or you need? And ultimately, can you be somewhat responsible for your passion? Heck yeah. So are you getting it? Are you responsible for your passion? Yes. Yes, we are responsible for our passion. So is there anything that you can do to rekindle that flame? Before you toss in the towel, can you relight that fire within your current and present business, all right? So thinking about that. Some other reasons why I myself have changed a company is because the product changed. It wasn't my fault. They changed the ingredients. It became less effective, and it not only affected my personal results, it affected my team. So my sales spiraled, and other team members were quitting because the products were no longer working for them. So sometimes product change is a big thing, all right? Back order products, that doesn't bother me. That actually makes me excited. When stuff is on back order, I get excited. You know why? Because things are growing. Things are shifting, things are shucking and jiving, and that's exciting. So don't never be grumpy that a product is sometimes on back order, because you know that your company's in a growth period. That should be really exciting for you, okay? So the company is changing in a way that you're not comfortable with. They're not keeping up with the times when it comes to training or their teaching. There's lack of future development. They're just not, they're old school cool, and they're not on the high fly baby of keeping it with today's actions. Social media is rapidly changing. How we're working our businesses on the internet is rapidly changing. Your company has to be with it and has to be on that cutting edge and actually trying to be proactive and getting ahead of the curve. So they know, they can foresee where this internet thing is going, okay? This is in the 1950s where people were reading the newspapers on the bus. This is like 100% on our phone, you know, and I can actually say I was really excited to have that launched within social retail. This month, we are 100% on the phone. We are on the go, soccer fields, hiking, boating, summer vacations. There's no more excuses to find the pockets of time to be on the go, which is exciting, okay? Another reason why women change businesses is we've lost our trust in our leadership, okay? Maybe there's a whole bunch of legal battles going on. You just get this weird vibe when it comes to the ethical sides of things. You just don't believe and trust in your leadership. Maybe they're not giving the right recognition. Maybe they're not, you know, just on, you don't feel that they're on your side, okay? There's a lot of women that shift companies because of that, okay? And then one of the last reasons, which I think is absolutely huge, which is massive to me personally, which is the culture sucks. You know, when a company's culture and nurturing and communication totally just seems to be in a downward spiral, and there's no more joy, there's no more hope, there's no more uplifting, there's no more cheering, there's no more celebration. I mean, that was one of the biggest reasons why so many women come to network marketing and working their home-based businesses, is they want culture. They want that tribe, they want that sisterhood, they want to feel that nurturing, that plugged-in feeling, where, you know, we're all rowing our own boats, we're in the same river, and we're definitely going in the same direction, okay? So some checklists before you go. Before you decide to toss in the towel, some last checklists are, have you used every strategy you possibly can? Like, ultimately, have you really plugged in? Did you really do the training? Did you really reach out and up for help? Did you ask the right questions? Did you follow through and do what you were told when it comes to the training? Did you talk with your upline about your concerns? You know, did you give it enough time? Did you give it just a couple weeks or a couple months? You know, that's not enough. You know, that's not enough for anything in life, you know? So, you know, and did you give yourself enough self-development, knowing that this is a business, that we weren't born knowing how to tie our running shoes, so therefore we should be developing ourselves so we can be better communicators, better relationship builders, better connectors, you know, learning the skill sets it's going to take to build a business using social media, okay? So what do you guys think? Mashals and Woodacons? Tell me what you think. Tell me what you think going on in your world, because this is a big thing happening right now. Seasons shift, especially during seasonal changes. I think more than anything, there's a lot of shifts that go on. You know, maybe people have worked really hard through the January, February, March, and April, and they're just not quite getting it. So they're ready to hop ship if come the summertime. A lot of people will change companies during the summertime because the kids are now back in school and they can have a fresh start with a fresh company. But they have forgotten that you and me, ourselves, our personal selves, are the catalysts of any kind of positive change. It has to begin from within. It comes from your work ethic, it comes from your planning, it comes from your strategizing, and nothing works unless we work. And we have to decide that it becomes from within. Because there is, like I said, there's women out there making it rocking and rolling with the worst compensation plans, with the worst ingredients, with the worst company out there, okay? So someone said, Roxanne, well, tell me why I joined social retail. Like, because after 2 years of being not in an MLM company and saying never again, why did I say yes? No parties. You know, I was tired of the parties. I was super tired of leaving my babies at home, not being around my husband. I didn't want to be out of the home in the evenings. So no parties within social retail. I didn't have to go to any more markets. I didn't have to go pay a table rental and then load up the Jeep and then take all my stuff to town or out of town 4 hours away, 2 hours away, or in town. I didn't have to pay for table rent or stall rent or decorations and pray I was going to make my money back, okay? So there was no more long-term, long-distance vendor events I had to go to. The other thing I absolutely love about social retail is that I don't have to keep hundreds of dollars worth of product in my closet anymore. This isn't, everything is completely online. So I don't have stuff that I have to buy and rack up my credit card and again, pray that somebody buys it before it expires or some kind of other ingredient change happens, all right? Materials. There is absolutely no materials. Everything is 100% completely online, which I absolutely love, because I know that social media is always going to be changing, so everything is always going to be fresh and new. So it's really easy to keep updated on a website on the internet. It's really easy to keep updated on social media instead of having to buy books or put banners on my vehicle or pop-up banners that for products at community events that then all of a sudden it changes, or the labeling changes, or the design changes, and you spent $200 or $300 on banners that no longer are effective. That was really super cool. I also absolutely love the dual-sided compensation plan. Women say, well, what do you mean by that, Roxanne? Well, some women are not very strong at recruiting. Some women are not very strong with sponsoring other women within businesses, but they're really great at sales. And then there's other women, oh my gosh, they can't sell anything. They can't sell anything to anybody, but they seem to be really great at building a business. They can sponsor people, but they can't sell anything. Isn't it great to have that freedom of choice to work with your natural nuances, tendencies, and strengths? And then if you want to figure out and learn how to do the other side of the compensation plan, you can on your time, but you're still earning while you learn. I absolutely think that is fantastic. Okay. And plus, I'm a country girl. I'm nuts and twigs. I'm sticks and berries. And to me, having natural products is super important to me. I have fur grandbabies. I don't have any grandbaby babies yet, but I have fur babies in the home. And I like keeping my home toxin free and chemical free with my cleaning ingredients. I love having, non-toxic, non-chemically type underarm deodorant and toothpaste. I love my liquid collagen. You guys know I'm gaga about that. I'm about to turn 50 in a couple days. Do I look like I'm going to turn 50? I don't know. I don't feel like I'm 50. Why should I look like I'm 50? And our bodies stop making collagen, before we're 30 years old. That's why our face gets all droopy and sad. That's why our joints get all creaky and achy. So those kind of things. So think about what is it keeping you plugged in and passionate. That is really, really exciting. I want you guys to think about this before you jump ship. Because I've had a lot of women coming to me asking about social retail. Can this business be paired with another business? Is this business complementary to another business? Can I do two businesses? Do I have to give up this one? Those are questions that we can have strategy calls. I am not encouraging anyone to quit their business and join mine. But if you are completely dissatisfied, unhappy, then by all means ask me about it. I will cheer you. I will support you. I will nurture you. I will train you. I will plug you in. And I'm on your team and I'm on your side. But ultimately, those kind of decisions have to come from the woman within. So no woman should be business hopping unless there's something absolutely horribly wrong with whatever's going on in their world, okay? So going through that checklist is going to be able to help you make the right decisions, the good and the bad and the ugly list. Make the list of the good stuff, make the list of the bad stuff, and list the stuff that's not working for you anymore, and then reach out and talk to me, okay? You guys have a fabulous evening. I will see you guys all on the sunny side of life tomorrow. Bye, guys.